In this video, I want to demonstrate how to add the facing toolpath to this part. Now, the first thing it says is to insert the toolpath before the previous toolpaths. So that means I need to move this red insert arrow up to the top of the list. So I'm just going to click this and get it up here, and that's where the facing toolpath will be inserted. So now that I have the insert arrow at the correct location, I'm just going to tell it to create a facing toolpath. I'm going to use the loop chaining. I'll just come over here and select on this. That loop will be fine. So I'll say OK. This window will open up. I'm going to go to the tool, select tool from library, filter, and this time I'm going to tell it none, and then I just want face mills, and it told me to find a face mill that's 2.5 inches in diameter. So I'm going to set this to 2.5. Say OK. There's only one face mill in the library that matches my search criteria, so I'll select it. And again, I'll say OK. And then I want to set the cutting speed to 400. The feed per tooth to 7.5 thou. The plunge rate, I'm told, needs to be 15 inches a minute, so I'll say OK. And I'll add an appropriate comment with the caps lock on. So I can tell it to face to clean up the 1/32 off the top. Next, I want to select the cut parameters. So it tells me to use the zigzag cutting method and that the across overlap is 70%. The along overlap is 2.6 inches. And that the approach and exit distance needs to be 100 thou larger than the tool radius. So the tool radius is already here, 50%. That's the radius, inch 1.25. So I'm just going to change these to 1.35. I'm also told I want to use an even number of passes, so I'll leave this checkbox enabled. There's only a 30-second of material to come off, so I'm not going to leave anything here on the face for a finish cut. I do, however, am told that the final depth cut must be 25 thou. So I'm going to turn on depth cuts and add one finish cut of 25 thou. We're not going to worry about the maximum rough. Then I'll go to the linking parameters. I like these in absolute, so I'll set them all to absolute. So the depth of cut is to the top of the part, which is right here, our part 0. There is that 30-second on top of the part. And it doesn't say anything about where the feed plane has to be. I'll leave it at 0.2. But it does tell us we need to turn the coolant on. So I'll select the coolant, tell it to turn the flood on, and I'll say OK. So there I see my cut passes. They look good. I'm going to move the insert arrow back to the bottom. And the last thing I'm told to do is update the stock model. So I'm going to click on its parameters, go to the source operations. I'll just move this over. And I'll hold control and I'll select the facing as well. So these three operations are now selected. I'll say OK. This will need regeneration, so I'll regenerate it. Again, it looks fine. I can turn the cut lines on. We see them. There's no real difference other than the part is thinner. And I'm going to select the facing toolpath as well, holding control. Shut the cut lines off. I want to save my work, and in the next video I'll continue.